Good afternoon, DY. I'm Marcy Jashwin.
And I'm Ava DeBrail. Welcome to the Dolphin News.
To begin, we go to our principal, Miss Bennett, for a bit from Bennett.
Good afternoon, DY. We're heading into a very busy and celebratory time of year here at Dennis Yarmouth High School, and we've got a lot to share. First up, our spring musical, The Olympian, hits the stage this weekend. Our students and directors have been working incredibly hard rehearsing for this wonderful production. There will be more detailed information later in the broadcast, and we hope you'll join us to enjoy the show and support the DY Theater Company. This week has also been full of MCAS and advanced placement testing. As we continue moving toward the end of the year, state testing will soon be followed by final exams, which will give qualifying students the chance to earn their competency determination. We're excited for students to have this opportunity to show what they've learned. If you have any questions about the competency determination, please talk to your teachers and school counselor. Today marks the halfway point for Term 4 for grades 8 through 11. Please take a moment to log into PowerSchool and review progress reports. Now is a great time to adjust goals or set new ones to help support strong academic success as we finish Term 4. We're also supporting our senior class as they complete their final week at Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School. And finally, in the spirit of continuous improvement, we're asking for your end-of-year feedback to help guide our summer planning. There are 3 surveys, one for students, staff, and families. The links can be found in the Lagoon, Google Classroom, and this week's newsletter. So please take a moment, share your thoughts, and please remind your families to check the newsletter and complete the survey. Your feedback is invaluable in helping us ensure successful academic experience for all of our Dolphins. That's all for me this week. Thank you for tuning into the Dolphin News and have a great weekend. Back to you, Marcy and Ava.
Thank you, Miss Bennett. As Miss Bennett said, this weekend, the Dennis Yarmouth Theater Company proudly presents The Olympians, a new jukebox musical. This exciting production features songs from artists like Pat Benatar, Miley Cyrus, Kelly Clarkson, and more.
In the play, 3 Greek goddesses compete to determine which attribute is the most powerful: a brilliant mind, a loving heart, or a fighting spirit. Each goddess chooses a mortal girl plucked from the earth below and sends her on a quest to prove her point. Along the way, there's a lot of singing, including songs you know and love.
Performances will be held on Friday, May 15th at 7 p.m., Saturday, May 16th at 7 p.m., and Sunday, May 17th at 2 p.m. in the Dennis Yarmouth Regional High School Auditorium. Tickets are $7 for students and seniors and $12 for adults. Cash is only accepted payment method at the door. Hope to see you there.
This Wednesday in the upper gym at 7, our music department will be hosting its annual May Pops concert.
All of our school's music groups will be performing: chorus, orchestra, and our 2 concert bands. They will be performing pieces selected from various Broadway musicals. You may hear familiar sounds from Grease, The Wizard of Oz, West Side Story, and more.
The Pops concert takes a much more informal approach to the idea of a traditional concert. Rather than dress up in the usual concert blacks, the performers will wear green and white to represent our school.
Tickets are $5 for adults and free for students, but donations are strongly encouraged. There will also be many concessions as well as silent auctions in full swing during the performances.
So pop out to support our student musicians and friends at the Pops concert.
And now we go to Dom for our sports news.
Thank you, Marcy. This upcoming week is packed with important matchups as our teams continue to barrel through the spring season. Varsity baseball continues to make a strong playoff push as they travel off Cape to face Carver tomorrow at 10. On Thursday, they return home to Red Wolfen Field for a matchup against East Bridgewater at 4 before heading to Mashpee on Friday for another 4 o'clock game. Varsity softball has a busy week ahead, beginning Monday at home against Mashpee at 4. On Tuesday, the team hosts Carver at 4:30. On Wednesday, they travel to Barnstable for a 3:30 matchup. And on Friday, they return home to take on Monomoy at 4. Girls tennis begins this week, the week on Friday, with an away match against Sturgis at 4. On Monday, they travel to Monomoy for another 4 o'clock match. Tuesday, they are back home, taking on East Bridgewater at 4, before wrapping up the week on Friday against Monomoy. Boys tennis also has a full schedule beginning Monday at home against Rising Tide at 4. They continue the week on Thursday with another home match against Sandwich. Girls golf has one matchup this week, facing Scituate on Tuesday at 3:30. Girls lacrosse starts Friday at home against Rockland at 4. On Monday, they traveled to Monomoy for a 6 o'clock game, followed by a home game Tuesday against Sturgis West at 4. On Friday, the team hosts Monomoy at 4 once again. Boys lacrosse begins Tuesday on the road against New Bedford at 4. Thursday, they travel to Middleborough for a 5 o'clock game as they look to build momentum heading towards the postseason. And finally, the track and field competes on Wednesday at Sandwich beginning at 3:30. That's all for the sports that we have for this upcoming week. And good luck to all of our athletes. Back to you, Marcy and Ava.
Thanks, Tom. Do you or your parents need tomato plants for your garden this year? Well, you can get some right here at DY and help out a worthy cause.
Our very talented art teacher, Mr. Bro, is selling tomato plants for $8 each as a fundraiser to help bring a visiting artist, Diane Hart, to our school. She'll be hosting a workshop with our ceramic students.
Miss Hart owns Diane Hart Pottery in Brewster. She focuses on high-fire porcelainware, though she also works in raku firing. The ocean inspires her to create watercolor effects on her pieces while still evoking warmth and comfort.
You can pick up the tomato plants in room 210 until the end of the day today, or until they're sold out. There are several varieties available, such as cherry tomatoes and plum tomatoes in all different sizes.
The varieties are available on a first-come, first-served basis. All the plants are grown organically. Hurry down because they may be gone soon.
And now it's time for our DY moment of culture. Let's go to Nyasha.
Thanks, guys. May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and it celebrates the important role that these demographic groups have played in our shared history. In 1978, President Jimmy Carter started the observance by setting aside a week in May. In 1990, it was expanded to a full month, and in 1992, Congress permanently designed May as AAPI Heritage Month. Why May? The month was chosen to commemorate two key milestones: the arrival of the first Japanese immigrants to the U.S. on May 7, 1843, and the completion of the first transcontinental railroad on May 10, 1869, which was largely built by Chinese immigrants. However, their contributions went far beyond the physical labor that helped move America into the age of industrialization. Every aspect of our culture, from food and music to art, architecture, literature, and more, has been influenced by Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. Here are just a few examples: advancing civil rights for underrepresented groups, advocating for the rights of farm workers, serving proudly with distinction in our nation's armed forces, advancing atomic energy research, advancing treatments for infants born HIV positive, helping pass the Sexual Assault Survivors Act of 2016, inventing the USB drive, and co-founding YouTube. Asian American and Pacific Islanders are not just a part of our history, rather they are a fundamental element of the future of our nation. This May and throughout the year, we encourage everyone to learn more, celebrate their diverse heritage, and join in building a more inclusive nation. Back to you, Marcy and Ava.
Thanks, Nyasha. Now it's time for our Dolphin of the Week, who will receive a free sub from Jersey Mike's.
This person was nominated because he's mensch, and if you don't know what that is, you're about to find out. This person seems to be able to get along with most everyone. He's a quiet, intelligent, and creative student who enters the classroom always with a smile and a hello. He's always willing not just to pitch in, but to help out until the job is done.
Earlier this week, when the student's nominating teacher had to stay home because his son was ill, the teacher did not have to worry about his A period class at all. That class had an academic aide who was always ready to assist other students. This student stepped up and agreed to help out his peers with any technical questions they might have, and students were able to continue to work on their media projects.
This week's DY Dolphin of the Week, as nominated by Mr. Wynnum, is Jacob Vieira. Jacob, thank you for being a true mensch, which, according to dictionary.com, is a Yiddish word meaning a decent, upright, mature, and responsible person. Also, thanks for being part of the Dolphin News production team. To receive your free sub, please clap, clap, clap. Please see Mr. Wynnum in room 414. Now, let's go to Kenzie for our weekend weather update.
Thanks, Ava. We're in it for a nice weekend as we head towards the summer months. To start it off, the rest of the day is going to be cloudy with a slight chance of rain. This evening is going to be cloudy once more with a low of 48 degrees. Saturday is going to be sunny all day with a high of 65 degrees. That evening is going to have clear skies with a low of 55 degrees. Sunday is going to have mostly sunny skies with a high of a whopping 72 degrees. That evening is going to have a few clouds in passing, followed by a low of 55 degrees. Make sure to go to the beach if you can this weekend. Have a great weekend, DY, and enjoy the nice weather. Back to you, Marcy and Ava.
That's all we have for today. Thank you for watching and
Have a great day in Dolphin Land, DY.